Next is the line charts. Line charts are used to establish movement or trend in the data. Values in the line charts are represented by points and are connected with lines, and we can easily determine whether values are increasing or decreasing over a span of time. To understand it clearly, let's take an example. Here we have a monthly sales data of chair and coffee tables. We can plot a line chart by selecting the data, going to insert, pick the first line chart. You can see that we have two trend lines. One is representing chair sales, which is in blue color, and the other is the coffee table sales, which is in orange color. You can easily see that chair sales were maximum in the month of July and coffee table sales were maximum in the month of June. Since June, coffee table sales have gone down. The chair sales showed cyclical trend in the months of Jan, Feb, March, April, and May. These trends can be easily visualized using the line charts. There are different variations to the line charts. You can select the data, go to insert, and see there are different types of line charts. I'll encourage you to explore these different types of line charts. We'll move on to the next charts, which are called pie charts. Pie charts are used to show proportion of a whole. They represent each value through slices of pie, which makes it easier to identify which category contributes to the largest and which category has the smallest share in the total. So let's take an example. Suppose we have sales of 4 different regions. We can plot a pie chart for these 4 different regions. We'll select the data, go to pie chart, the first one. We'll change the design of this chart to see that 50% of the total sales in January were contributed by Northeast region, whereas 17% were by Southwest region, 13% by Southeast region, and 20% by Northwest region. This gives us an easy way to compare the proportion of these regions for 1 month, but if you want to compare this data for 2 months, we can use the donut charts. I'll delete this one. I'll select the 2 months data and go to insert, pie charts. The last one is the donut chart. I'll change the chart style. So you can see the inner donut is representing January sales. The outer one is for February sales, and we can easily see that the contribution of Northeast region has declined from 50% to 30%, whereas the yellow one, the Southwest region, the contribution has increased from 17% to 51%. This is how we use pie charts and donut charts. Now let's move on to statistical charts. These charts are used to summarize and visualize statistical characteristics of data. For example, frequency, range, distribution, mean, and median. Let's take an example to understand them completely. Here we have all the customer data of over 200 customers, and we want to get a sense of age groups of customers buying from our furniture store. We can go ahead and plot a histogram for that. We will select the customer age and we will go to insert, statistical charts, histogram. You can see that Excel has automatically divided my data into 6 buckets. The first is the age range of 15 to 25, and the last one is 65 to 75. So it's about 10 years of each range. From our histogram, we can see that around 40 customers are falling under age 34 to 44, and another 40 falling under 44 to 54. We can also format the horizontal axis to change the number of buckets or the width of the buckets. We select format axis, change the number of bins from 6 to 8. You can see that we now have 2 more buckets, and now each bucket is having around 7 units, and we can see that the maximum number of customers are in the 65 to 72 age range, and the minimum are from the 22 to 29 age range. Next, we will look at the scatter charts. Scatter charts are used to compare at least two sets of values and it shows the relationship between them. Let's take an example. Here we have student height and weight of 50 students. We can plot this data into a scatter plot. We will select the values and go to insert, select scatter plot, the first one. We have height values on the x-axis and we have weight values on the vertical axis. So each point on this chart represents each student and that student's weight and height is plotted on this chart. Overall, we can see that with increase in height, weight is also increasing. We can also plot a regression trend line to verify our claim. To do that, click on plus sign, take this trend line option, select linear trend line. If you want to look at the equation of this particular trend line, you select this trend line and do formatting. You can click on this plus to remove these options. Check these two checkboxes. We'll move these two values to look at them. You can see that we have an equation saying y is equal to 0.4 times x plus 7. If you put the value of x, which is the student height, you can predict the weight of that particular student. So that is what this particular trend line is giving us. The other thing is the R squared value. R squared value tells us the goodness of fit of this particular trend line. It should be more than 0.65 to have a good fit line, but for our model it is about 0.25, which means this trend line is not capturing all the variation in this data. There are other variations of scatter plots also. You can add third variable as a radius of bubbles. So if you go to scatter plots, there are bubble charts also. So apart from the two x-axis and y-axis variables, you will have a third variable which will be the radius of these bubbles. I'll encourage you to explore this one on your own. Next, we will look at the waterfall chart. This chart was introduced in Excel 2016. Using a waterfall chart, you can easily visualize sequential positive or negative changes from your starting point or the base value. Waterfall charts are commonly used in financial analysis to display how net value is arrived through gains and losses over time. Let us try to do the same in this example. We have a small profit and loss statement of some company. This company has a revenue of 100,000 and net profit of 18,550. But how did we get there? This table contains that information, but to make it more visually appealing and easy to understand, we will select the table and select the waterfall chart option. We have to first identify all the base values, format data, set as total, select the next one, set as total. This is also a total. This profit before tax is a total. And so what we have done is we have plotted a chart which starts at 100,000, which was our gross revenue. Then there was a negative value due to cost of goods sold, which brought down our total earnings to 70,000. So that negative value is shown as a fall in the from the base value. Similarly, if you look between the operating income to profit before tax, there are three values. The one positive value is shown in blue. This represents the increase in the base value. So increases are plotted as blue, decreases are plotted as orange. You can change the color if you want using the chart formatting options. This was waterfall in Excel 2016. If you want to make this in earlier versions of Excel, you can visit our channel StarTech Academy on YouTube and see a separate video on the same. Next, let us look at spark lines. Sparklines are miniature versions of line charts or column charts that can be inserted within a single cell. These provide quick reference of trends without taking up too much space. It is very easy to get sparklines. Go to Insert. In this sparklines section, click on Line, select the data range, select the cell you want to draw the sparkline in, click on OK, and this is the sparkline. You can see this is a small version of line chart only. If we actually drew a line chart by selecting this data, you can compare that this line chart and this sparkline are giving us the same trend. Similarly, we can also draw column charts in sparklines. So let's do that for the second row. Column, select the data range. This is the cell, right? Okay, you can see this is the column chart. If you want it to go to other cells also, you can merge those cells uh, to get better heights. You can increase the row height to 35. So that's how we use sparklines. That's all for this lecture on charts. In the next lecture, we will be learning about some important Excel shortcuts. Thanks.